And we're back, guys. Welcome to Tennis in a Minute. We're going to take a look at the other half of the quarterfinal in Rome. We have Coco and Mirra, part 4. But I also want to take a look first at little Peyton Stearns, NCAA champion, and she comes up big in Rome. As always, this content is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Act. Svitolina, guys, what an amazing match here. 3 sets, a third set tiebreak for the opportunity to make the semifinal here in Rome. Now, if you watch this match, it went 3 sets, but Svitolina, as I said in the pre-match video, look, very good defensive player. She's going to win this match or have the advantage if she takes her time and extends these rallies. Peyton Stearns, the opposite side of the net, she's going to win these rallies and these points by speeding Svitolina up and using her athletic ability. That looks like Tom Hill. Now, great coach. I think this is the reason Maria is struggling. The Greek goddess is struggling because she got rid of Tom Hill. I mean, he knew her game, and for the most part, I mean, even despite that stretch of not winning a title in 4 years, she was still in the top 10, you know. And I just feel now at this stage of her career, it's tough. I mean, you have a new coach coming in, attempting to modify your game and change things. It's really tough, you know. But nonetheless, Svitolina, guys, and this is why I say all the time, the motto of the defensive player is one more ball. One more ball in play. Now, let's take a look here at what I thought was an amazing play. And I'm just going to give you the rundown, right? Like I do every day. Svitolina, this was literally just one of the most amazing plays I've ever seen, right? So it was, I want to say it was the 12th service game? Yeah, I think it was the 12th service game. So Peyton Stearns had an overhead smash, right? And it was wide open winner. Svitolina had no chance to return this overhead smash. But she stuck with it. She hustled after the ball. She was able to return it. 2 shots later, she's hitting a down the line winner. And I just felt that it's a great testament to how tough defensively and mentally Svitolina is. At one point, she was my favorite player on tour. You know, this long before Coco was coming up. Svitolina was one of my favorite players on tour, and I just like her defense. You know, she's been undersized, and right now I could tell when she's in great shape because she goes back to being really thin. Remember, Svitolina was really thin, and she's in great shape right now. She's in great condition. She's having a good season, but like I said in the pre-match video, Svitolina is going to have the opportunity to win this match if she extends the rally. Now, I felt Peyton Stearns did a really good job of speeding up Svitolina. As I said, Peyton Stearns is going to do well if she can use her athletic ability. And you could see the footwork here, huge difference. Peyton Stearns, very explosive. But I felt Svitolina in the third set, she played a little too risky, right? Now, for example, let's fast forward to the third set tiebreak, where Svitolina was up 4-3. Svitolina, you could see how nervous Peyton Stearns was. She started to get upset, right? She was making mistakes. All Svitolina had to do, in my opinion, and if I'm coaching her, I'm telling her, look, slow down, play smart, because you need this point. Let Peyton Stearns get aggressive and make the error. Don't do it yourself. Svitolina would then, on the do side, try to go down the line. And I felt it was way too aggressive. And of course, she misses, she ties it up. And from there, Peyton Stearns would just surge ahead. I felt having that mini break, Svitolina needed to go back to do what she does best. But it could have been a sign of fatigue because, you know, as an experienced player, she saw something there in Peyton Stearns that she didn't want to have happen. And I felt Peyton Stearns was exploiting her footwork for a while there because, look, long 3-set match like this, Svitolina, she's in great shape, great condition, but I felt she was a little tired. And, of course, Peyton Stearns was as well. But Peyton had a stretch there, I want to say maybe probably the 11th service game, where she was up 30 love, and then she had like five faults in a row. It was very bad. And then Svitolina would come back. Svitolina had the chance to break, but couldn't close out the break. Now, I do feel that Peyton Stearns, having played just so many great, grueling matches this tournament, I felt that she had nothing to lose. And Svitolina on the other side kind of felt that I felt she just felt the pressure of Peyton Stearns, right? She felt that aggressiveness, and she felt that she had to combat it with her own aggressiveness. And I just think that was the wrong strategy, right? Play your game, get balls back, let the younger player make the mistakes. But we have to congratulate Peyton Stearns, right? So she wins this match. This is a record. Peyton Stearns, the only player in history, at least on clay, to win three straight matches that went three sets and a tiebreak. Unreal. Now, I would have thought that this would have happened before, at least by one of the stars, Serena or someone. But yeah, this is a very interesting stat. So, in case you don't know, Madison Keys in the third round, Peyton Stearns would win that in three sets, the tiebreak 7-3. In the round of 16, she just beat Osaka in three sets, 7-4. Third set tiebreak again. And today, she beats Svitolina, three sets, third set tiebreak, 7-4. Unbelievable. And I told you in the third round, she would beat Anna Kalinskaya. She did a great job of doing that as well. But congratulations to Peyton Stearns. She pulls off the miraculous comeback down a mini break in the tiebreak, and she deserved it, guys. Throws her racket down. She gets to celebrate. And let's get to the other half of the quarterfinal, guys. We have Aryna Sabalenka hits hard, taking on Qinwen Zheng. This is going to be a good matchup here. Now, you guys know I've said in the past, I don't know if Qinwen just has the power to hang with Sabalenka consistently, right? She's never beat Sabalenka. In fact, of the six times they've played, she's barely won one set off of her. That's right, guys. That came in Wuhan on her own turf. Other than that, Qinwen has not won a service game off of Sabalenka. And in fact, aside from winning that set in Wuhan, Qinwen consistently cannot even win four service games against Sabalenka in a set. The problem here is really straightforward. Sabalenka's forehand, it's too powerful. Qinwen's, once her serve gets returned, she's really trying to beat you with the forehand. She cannot duel it out with Sabalenka's forehand. Sabalenka's too strong. That's the real issue with a matchup like this. For Qinwen to win this match, again, she is a gold medal winner on clay. She's good on all surfaces, but she's going to have to serve really well, and she's going to have to jam the body of Sabalenka. She has to make Sabalenka's returns just a nightmare, right? She has to start these service games with Sabalenka on the back foot, right? She's going to have to do that, or it's just, if she can hold serve, Sabalenka will slip up eventually. But the reality here is, I think it's a tough match. Last time against BB, Qinwen won that match 7-5, 6-1. She won about 80% of her first serves, but she had 9 double faults. That concerns me a lot, ladies and gentlemen, because if you give Sabalenka 2 free service games already showing superior strength against you, she's going to be in trouble. Last time against Marta Kostyuk, another tiebreak, 10-8 in the second set. Sabalenka played well, 71% of her first serves won. She had literally 10 opportunities to break Marta, who's the much more explosive player than Qinwen. Qinwen's going to resort to baselining, and that's just going to be a mistake against Sabalenka. Qinwen has played well here in Rome, and I mean, overall, just not having her coach for a lot of the first quarter, I think, hurt her progress. But she took out Ogla, who's now a top 50 player, Magdalena Freck, and BB on the beat in straight sets. However, Sabalenka on the other side, I think, beat the much tougher competition. Not only did she beat Coco a week and a half ago in Madrid, she beat Potapova, Kenin, and Marta Kostyuk. Sabalenka's in great form. She's in really great form right now. She's on a 9-match win streak, and I think she defeats Qinwen once again. Mirra Andreeva. I'm going to say it the fancy way. You like that, guys? All right. The 7th seed taking on the 4th seed, the now ranked number 2 player in the world. Who's going to win Rome? Well, the experts think that Coco has the third best odds to win it behind Paulini. Now, you're wondering, well, why is Jasmine favored? Why does she have better odds than Coco to win it? Well, she beat Coco last time out despite never defeating Coco previously, but she's already in the semifinals, whereas Coco still has an extra match to play. So that's really the difference there. So I wouldn't really look too much into that because if Coco was literally, and then you have to look at Coco, and she's going to have to go through Sabalenka. So, I mean, that's going to make it just a little bit more tough there, just having to go through Sabalenka to win it. So the odds are going to be a little bit more worse. But, it's not something I personally think Coco will play better against Sabalenka on this surface here in Rome because I think Madrid and the elevation, I think it probably helped Sabalenka a little bit last time out. Whereas these courts, they're slightly different from the French Open, but Coco says she likes these courts, so I think that's going to work to her advantage. But in terms of this match here, guys, Coco Gauff, my personal opinion, I, I, I I just think she's eons above Mirra right now, right? And it goes to show a lot how Iga Swiatek just has declined, right? And I said we're gonna see what Iga's really made of, right? When all this controversy, all this drama came out, because I told you guys, I don't think it's just I don't see how Coco being so good on defense, so superior, could lose to Iga that many times. That to me that didn't make any sense. Now I did nitpick a little bit, and I was correct. I was accurate, and I saw some things that Coco was doing that was taking her off of her natural ability, which was affecting her play against Iga. Right? She wasn't comfortable out there, and I think there was overcoaching, overthinking that was taking away her natural instinct, her ability, her God-given talents, her gifts. This is the type of matchup here where Coco's just so much faster than Mirra. It creates a disadvantage to Mirra to where she has to overplay and she makes more mistakes. Coco makes her nervous. Mirra said this. Not only does Mirra look up to Coco, she respects Coco. And she said Coco's the fastest. Your peers, I'm telling you guys, this is very important stuff. Your peers know how good you are. Right? The public, the casual fans that watch here and there, they listen to headlines and may only see highlights. They listen to this person and that person, and then they don't really form an accurate opinion. But your peers that play with you, they know how good you are. Your peers know who you go play with your friends, whether it's you're coming up in high school or college, just playing at the park. Everyone knows who the best player is. Everyone knows who's great at this particular skill, this talent. Your peers know, and Mirra knows. So this tells me mentally that Mirra, it's look, mentally Mirra knows that Coco's just a couple levels above her, right? Last time out against Emma, Coco had 4 aces. She won nearly 80% of her first serves, 9 opportunities to break Emma Raducanu, and you could see the difference in level between Emma Raducanu and Coco. Coco's comfortable. She's playing doubles with Alexandra Ayala. They have a tough doubles match coming up, by the way, after this match. That's right, Jasmine Paolini and Sarah Irani, who I'm taking Coco Coco and Alexandra are the underdogs. I'm taking Coco and Ayala to win at least a set. That's my pick. I think they can cause the upset as well. The only difference is Jasmine and Sarah They have really good chemistry together. They know their placement, where to go and rotate to. That's just the only advantage they have. But if Alexandra and Coco played together for at least a few more months, I would definitely pick them to win. But we're taking them to win at least one set. Now, Mirra last time out against Towson, a lot of drama, right? Two aces, four double faults. She got 73% of her first serves in play, but she won about 70% of those, and she struggled on the second serve, though, losing 43% of her second serves, and she gave Towson 10 opportunities to break her. I feel, even though Mirra's young, she can recover very fast. I feel mentally that game was so draining, and then you have to wake up and get up and play Coco. I think it's going to do, I think it's going to do an injustice to Mirra, right? Having so much drama in the previous match and playing what most regard the best player in the world, Coco Gauff, right? Definitely the brightest future for tennis on the WTA side. Now, they've played twice on clay. Of those two meetings, this year in Madrid, Coco won that in straight sets, a breadstick in the second set. They played at the French Open a couple years ago where Mirra, that was her breakout year for the most part, right? Mirra won the first set, Coco two breadsticks to cap it off. So of the three times they've played and a total of 7 sets, Mirra's only won one of those sets. That lets you know that there's a big difference in skill, and I don't think that's going to change so fast. Even though Mirra's, she's beat some tough competition, Emiliana Arango, good clay player, Lina Noskova, good clay player, and Clara Towson. I think Coco, her win against Emma Raducanu shows you the form that she's in. And I think Coco's going to win this match. The experts are considering that Mirra's never defeated Coco, but I think they're also considering Coco's form. And my personal opinion, I think Coco's just going to win this match. I think she's better than Mirra either way you slice it. Now, Mirra, again, she's very tricky. She's got great short balls. Her left down the line's good. I think since she's so young, she plays with like a carefree attitude where it's like, look, if I make a mistake, I'll come back. I have nothing to lose. Why not just try? She has good serve placement, very powerful serve. The only problem is Coco's one of the few players that can speed her up and make her uncomfortable. Coco on the other side, listen, guys, served well against Emma, played well against Emma, controlled her mistakes. Coco is serving well and defending well. She's cracking the forehand like I said she does on clay. You're not seeing all those forehand errors like you would see on possibly a hard court where she has to overplay on defense and make sure she breaks back. If she ends up, double faulting a bit, creating more errors for herself, then she overplays on defense. The pace on clay is a little bit more relaxed. I think her forehand is stronger on clay, and it gives her more energy to serve more efficiently because she's not playing as much defense, right? Because she's not down a lot of the time. I think Coco wins the match if she just plays smart and patient. Mirra is going to be the one that feels rushed and feels she has to overplay. And I think that's going to play into Coco's game. So I like Coco to win this match, guys. Those are the picks. Enjoy Tennis in a Minute. We'll see you tomorrow for more tennis coverage.